There is an essence that binds and sustains and is all life. This essence, this living presence, is the oneness that you are. The oneness that you are. Shapeless, formless, and eternal are you, with no boundaries, with no container. You were never born, so you can never die. This is the oneness that you are. This is the oneness that you are. With nothing to grow into and nothing to become, for you are all life. You are all life. There is no separation between you and me, the air that we breathe, the sun that shines upon us, or the earth that we walk on. No separation at all. All life is one, always has been, and always will be. And this oneness, that is the air and the earth, this oneness, that is the seasons of the harvest, and the laughter of the children. This is the oneness that you are. This is the oneness that you are. This cannot be taught to you, or this cannot be understood. This is only to be experienced, appreciated, and realized. Accept this and be free. Accept this and be free. Accept this, all of this, and be. Just be, just be, just be. Makes it sound simple. How are you tonight, Guy, or Guy? Sorry, I keep getting that wrong. Guy.
Yeah. Hey, Joseph, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I chose a subject that is, should be, I guess, on most of our minds to a certain extent. The navigating through this transformational period. For me, I'm usually the type of person who likes to get ahead of things, but this one's pretty hard to get ahead of. But I have learned a lot as I tried, and I have learned what works better than most, and it changes for each person based on your personal preferences. So what I wanted to talk about is how to decide if you're going the right direction in your current system where you are right now by knowing yourself first and then deciding from knowing yourself what direction seems appropriate for you. And all directions lead to wherever we want to go. They just might not get there as fast as other directions, but it doesn't really matter. What matters is that you desire to go that way, and you have faith and belief in it. Because if you have those, and you go in that direction, eventually you will reach your goal. So for me, in that regards, the things that I look for are things that are wrong in the current world that I would like to see corrected to a certain extent. Not to think that it's something I have to do, but it's something that gives me a feeling of doing the right thing for. Because I've seen things out of place pretty much all my life. And I've always tried to fix them, if I could, anyway. Try to make every place you go to a little better than it was when you got there. So, for me, it's been a lifelong thing like that. I've been going to so many places, and there's so many things that needed to be fixed. But nobody's really broken, and nobody needs fixed. But things can be improved wherever you are if you put your mind to it. And I did that most of the time. Sometimes it was more difficult than others. Saudi Arabia, it's hard to change anybody's mind over there about anything, really. But nonetheless, I still had a good time. Part of the process of going through your transformation is learning just what needs to transform what part of you needs to transform first in order for the rest of you to follow. And that's what you'll be working out now, because if you don't get things in the right order, it's hard to go in the right direction. And only you get to decide what that order is. So you have to start focusing on those things that might help you decide what that is. And I used YouTube for several things that helped me a lot, really. I was surprised to find that. I thought it wasn't that much good on there initially, but now that I've checked out some of these newer sites, I'm thinking, wow, they got a lot of really good information in a lot of places. And I'd like to cover some of that with you tonight and have your views on it as well. So if you want to say anything at any time, feel free. I think it's open still. You can open your mic if you want, because it doesn't matter to me if you're open or not. I don't think I'll hear anything, or at least not much. In the background, I'm talking about. One of the things I searched was about the parasympathetic nervous system. And there's a whole lot of information on that on YouTube. I think everybody should know that stuff. So it'd be really a good way to have a better understanding what's going on inside your body, because that's the part that needs to be changed, the stuff going on inside your body. You want to stop your aging process. And they actually tell you how to do that with different kinds of breathing techniques and exercises. Sometimes both at the same time, depending on what kind of achievement you're trying to acquire. I've gone through some of those. One of the exercises that I saw was multi-part, I guess you'd call it a squat type exercise, where you have breathing exercise at the same time you're doing squats. That one, according to Harvard and a couple other institutions, if you did it for 12 weeks, only 4 minutes a day, it'll set your biomarkers back 12 years. So I did that. I've gone through actually 4 months now. I'm continuing to do it. It finally started to get a little easier after about 4 months, but still, it's not easy to start because I do it the very first thing in the morning. It's hard to jump out of your bed and do exercises. And I've been doing that mostly just to get myself in that kind of shape. And I've noticed considerable improvement. I can actually do the Asian squat now. It's something I've not done before. I got close to it, but never really got there. Now I can stay there for a while. So I know it works, and it, by the nature of the breathing exercise you're doing, you're also affecting your parasympathetic nervous system to be activated during most of that time, and that activates your vagal nerve, which is another part of your anatomy that is very important to your health and well-being. In fact, the vagal nerve, if stimulated properly, can reduce aging significantly. Many people who are aware of the vagal nerve and do certain rituals every morning, maybe something for 5 minutes or so, they normally live into their hundreds without looking like they go past 70. So it's pretty amazing what you can do if you keep looking for things. And all these things that are normally good, you don't really expect to find them on YouTube, but this one's pretty good stuff, the parasympathetic type, and there's another couple more. One of them, actually one for sure I want everybody to see. It's a video that was made from Dolores Cannon's research into the background, past lives of many of the people that came here. And she found a way to do a one-time frequency change, keeping you at the higher frequency that you were born here with, rather than anything you might be stuck with in this world right now. So if everybody sees that, it might be beneficial. Make it easier to recognize that there's never a time that you need to feel really bad about your frequency, because you'll understand how this one time listening to this audio and participating in what it says to do will take you to a place where you'll never forget your frequency. So I'll tell you about that one too when we start talking a little more. And that one's really good for a lot of people who've had a lot of difficult things to go through. And it will remove a lot of your doubts so that you feel more faithful, really. Have more belief in yourself, more belief in what you can accomplish. So most of us are in pretty good shape. I think Rob could use a little help. Maybe he could use some of that stuff. I'll make sure he knows about all that. Anyway, it's all working out the way it's supposed to work out. We'll just see how it works out. I don't really know. One of the things I discovered was that on another YouTube video was how Americans have been sort of suckered into buying asphalt shingles because they made them really cheap. The petroleum industry did that, so that everybody be buying them. And they're in cahoots with the electric companies. The electric company knows that if you have asphalt shingles, they're going to make a lot more money. The asphalt shingles, they are heat sinks for your roof. And this has been going on for over 100 years where they started doing that. And they knew it was going to do that from the beginning. Still, they did it because they wanted the money. The petroleum industry was part of that process and all of it. And we know how the petroleum industry is the big giant taking care of all the little people for their own benefit. And when you see that kind of stuff happening, it just makes you think, oh, what kind of people are we living with on this planet? But we already know that. So we're trying to find ways to not be bothered by it. So for me, the guy that was pointing us out, telling us all the things that went on during the past, he said there's a product you can put on your asphalt shingles called lime, hydrated lime, which is basically calcium hydroxide for the most part. It's a white crystalline type powder, and it reflects as much as 98% of all the radiation coming into the house. And it's inexpensive. $20 for a 50-pound bag. And it takes about 1 50-pound bag and water to do it, but that's all he talked about it. I later found out that you need to put some acrylic sealer with it. Otherwise, it would wash away too easy. Would only last 1 or 2 years. But if you put some acrylic sealer with it that is also water soluble and waterproof, then it'll last 7, 8 years without any problem. If you do it multiple coats, it'll go 10 years without too much trouble. So that's what I'm doing now. I did it, and I was amazed because at the time, prior to putting that on, the kitchen was the hottest room in the house. And no matter what it was outside, it was always in the 80s in the kitchen, even with the air conditioner running, which was no good at all. In fact, you could barely tell the air conditioning was coming out. It was so much heat in the kitchen, so it didn't get anywhere. After I put this stuff on, the temperature went down to 78 in the kitchen with the air conditioner off. So it's a huge difference. So everybody would be good to learn about that kind of stuff. They see how many things we've been led to believe are good, but they're not. In particular, our electricity. There's so many things wrong with that. We're paying for energy that we don't use in a lot of ways. So all those kind of things like that, they annoy me a bit enough to make me try to find out what I can do to make that better. And that's the way I've been doing it all my life. What can I do to make things better wherever I am? So apparently that's part of what I am. But also, since I became Zen in the helicopter, which I was not trying to do when that happened, I didn't even think of it as a possibility. And yet all of a sudden I was seeing things and hearing things that I didn't know where it was coming from, but there it was. Anyway, that must be built into me. It must be a normal part of me because I didn't do anything to make it happen. So I figure that that's going to continue as long as I continue doing the things that seem like the right thing for me to do. And the same would be for you guys. If you do the things that you believe are the right thing for you to do, you do them well and keep improving and making yourself better in all the areas that you can make yourself, then you'll be going on the same path, and eventually it'll all sort of fall together. Each of us with our own particular areas of expertise, but all feeling connected to each other as though we were one. And that's how the process works. That's what navigating the transformation is all about. Learning to become one with all life and each other. And everything else happens automatically. But when you see these videos and pay attention to them closely, you're actually learning a great deal about the anatomy and how the anatomy is affected by different things. And some of them, Dolores Cannon stuff her stuff is from documented hypnotic sessions with over thousands of people, and they all had the same basic background. And from that, she determined a lot of things must be true, and she explains that. So her stuff is pretty good in that regard. But the one I wanted to see the most is the one about how to make sure your frequency never get you down, whatever was happening. Like some days, you have a bad mood and you don't feel quite as good about things, but you want to know in the background that it's just bull. It's not really real. It's just something that's happening at the moment. And if you think that way, it's a lot easier to let it go. But if you feel like there's something wrong about you, then that takes you off on a different direction. You always want to be dreaming that you are dreaming the right dream, because that's what we're doing. We're really just dreaming this up based on our perceptions of what we believe. And the goal is to get to where your dream becomes the dream that you want to dream. And every day is part of that process of making that dream happen. You don't know how long it's going to take. That doesn't matter because you're happy while you're doing it. And that's the whole point. Do things that you enjoy doing and do them with enthusiasm and never worry about the things we normally worry about during our day, or a lot of people do anyway. So I would like to find out from you too what kind of things you find are interesting in your work, in direction you're going, or do you disagree with the things that I've said or not? I got you unmuted, but you probably muted yourself. So.
Yeah, I'm here, Joseph.
Hey, so how are you feeling tonight? Everything going well?
Yes, very good. I had a great session on the water after work, flying over the water, wing foiling.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Oh yeah, it's the best sensation. So
Yeah.
that always leaves me feeling good
Mhm.
and well rested.
Yeah. Yeah. I had a ultralight once.
Oh yeah.
Not very far out. You can actually hover those things, beaches on windy days. Pretty amazing. So you have your direction that you're going with your transformation?
Yes. Well, the direction I was thinking about that. The direction is the feedback is the expression "follow your bliss."
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's it's one way it's like a feedback. If you're going in the right direction, it should be pleasant and fruitful. If you're going in the wrong direction, there's sometimes you're hitting your head against the wall.
Yeah, you're going to do that on and off, depending upon how accurate you are in determining what's next step. You can be really good for a long time, and all of a sudden, well, this doesn't seem right anymore. That's because sometimes it's time to end the one thing and move to something else, but you don't know for sure when that is.
Yeah, and another thing I ponder a lot about the upcoming transformation is how we're saying Christopher's estimating about 12 years.
Yeah.
Of the world.
That's the complete transformation. That's the one where everybody will be moving to a higher frequency.
Yeah.
There can be some more transformations, physical transformations, that are still in this body before that time. But I'm not sure exactly how far that goes. I've not got that explained in my hands.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, for sure there'll be some transformation. There'll be a lot of transformation for us to go around for sure. What I'm pondering is, okay, I'm looking at retiring in a couple of years, and I'm thinking if the whole system's going to fall apart, well, should I, start enjoying that later?
You might want to find your place a cabin in the woods somewhere. Yeah. I mean, I thought, so.
I think the main thing is to not to create any extra stress on yourself, and to be in the right frame of mind to handle the transformations that come, to be at peace.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, the transformations that come, it's like, like when I was putting that stuff on my house, let's see, I'm 77, be 78 in July, and I was up on that roof for 5 hours at a time. And my neighbor, who was a landlady, was kind of upset with me for being up there. Too risky. For me, that's not really risky, because I would know if I couldn't do it or not, and I wouldn't be up there if I couldn't do it.
Like compared to flying a helicopter, being up on the roof is not as risky.
No. Compared to that helicopter, nothing's risky, really. But it's part of the game you play. I'm enjoying that game. I wish I could do more of it, or at least somewhere on the side. Even fly an airplane was kind of.
Yeah.
Yes.
What were you saying about? Did you install something on the roof? That
Yeah. I put a coating. Actually, I had 2 coats on top of the entire asphalt roof that I have.
okay.
So now it's solid white.
And what kind of coating?
It's called hydrated lime type S, Sierra S type S. If you they had it at Ace Hardware. It was $20, 22, something like that, for a 50-pound bag. 50 pounds will cover probably 1,200 feet. But and the first coating is going to take the most because it's got a lot of holes in asphalt, and the powdery crystals will fall into those little holes, and then they'll fill up the holes, and then they got to pile up on top, and then that's keep them hooked to that. And once you seal them with that at the same time, they're not going anywhere. And you put 2 coats over your whole roof, which I did. It'll knock that energy bill down right away. But that's applied more to mine than a lot because mine is not doing what it was supposed to be doing. It's a new roof and only 2.5 years ago, but it already lost all the coating on it that's normally supposed to stay for 10 years. So it didn't do that. And the heat in the house was ridiculous. Normally you have one central air. We have one central air and 3 units as well. 3 units in the house. One 14,000, one 8,000, and one 6,000. And even with all them running, it couldn't keep the temperature below 82.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So your shingles were letting the heat through.
Yeah, they're a real heat sink right in the middle. It was unbelievable. 150 degrees, 150 degrees or more. So.
And you guys have an attic in between the ceiling and the roof?
No attic, and very little insulation, but there's some. But
okay, that's another consideration. Like here in Canada, most houses have an attic, so there's an air gap, and then there's a blown cellulose, a couple feet of that. So because we don't want the cold from the outside to go, we want the heat to stay in.
Yeah, you want the heat, so it's okay. But asphalt shingles would be good for you guys.
Yeah,
that would hold the heat in. Here, asphalt shingles are horrible.
What about a tin roof? Would that, like steel roof for you guys, would that bounce the heat off?
I didn't understand. Steel roof, you say?
Yeah, like a tin roof, steel roof.
If they have them made out of aluminum and they have them made out of other kinds of steel. I'm not sure which kind you're referring to, but
the
steel ones. I don't know anything about those yet, so I haven't heard those. I've only seen the aluminum.
Okay.
But I know the coating. You have to know what the reflective index is on them, or how they have a radiating effect number for each type of thing. You can ask whoever sells them how much it radiates the sunshine, and they can give you a number for that. And most of them are like only 40 or 50%, something like that. But this stuff, this hydrated lime, as much as 98% if you do it really well. So that eliminates almost all your heat from the outside. It was the first time now one air conditioner can do the whole house the way it's supposed to. Anyway, so when you solve things that you've found wrong in the world, it feels right. It makes you feel like you did something right. At the same time, that's telling you about yourself, telling you what you like to do, what you like to help make better. And those particular areas that you like to work in, whatever it is the area that provides you with the stimulating effects of accomplishing something. And we all like to have that as a normal part of our life, I think, So hate to feel without purpose of some sort, even though we did come here with none, but we make them up as we go along. So whenever you have a desire, you have to have a purpose to go along with it, So, how about you, Linda? Are you healing up well?
I seem to be feeling better. I've been told it takes a while for hormones to readjust and stuff after they removed a parathyroid gland that was 10 times too big, and
yeah.
and so I had labs, and they go up and down and up and down, and so the way that I feel and the energy that I have kind of goes up and down and up and down. So I don't know from day to day until I get up. It's like, okay, is this going to be one of the better days or one of the not so good days?
Yeah.
It's like, how much am I going to accomplish today? And but I think it's getting better, but it's just not totally consistent yet. It's not stabilized completely. So.
Well, you do see it. Do you see it going in the right direction most of the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do, and I am making. I'm trying to do more of an anti-inflammatory diet, which is like avoiding dairy and gluten and soy and stuff that I tend to actually eat a lot of. So like a veggie burger with cheese is all, soy and dairy and gluten, and it's like, okay, well, let's have something that's not that, So yeah, I'm working on that, just because I feel like, anti-inflammatory is good for everybody, but I think it's probably especially good for me. So
yeah. The more you got something wrong with your thyroid, the harder it is to know exactly what the best thing to do is. You're doing what you can for your thyroid, and then there are other things that you don't really know how they interact with the thyroid.
Right. Well, one of the big interactors is the kidneys, and so I see it in the labs. And the parathyroid interacts with the kidneys too. So it's like if one goes up, the other goes up, and one goes down, the other goes down, and it's like they can make each other better, or they can make each other worse. And so I'm learning more, and I'm talking to Yolanda a lot. We chat about medical stuff because she used to be a nurse, plus she's gone through a lot of stuff. So we were actually talking about thyroid and stuff today, and I go to the mainstream doctors, and she tells me how limited they are with what they know and what they treat, how they treat it, and I agree. I want to explore functional medicine, but I want my insurance to pay for it, and
right.
that's more likely to happen.
Yeah, we're all trying to get through this period of time, helping each other, really, because just listening to somebody is help for them sometimes, because you need to have that connection. You need to have somebody caring enough to be part of what's going on, so you feel more like you're part of a whole that's not just you anymore. So, and
yes.
For me, I was always alone almost all my life, but I never felt alone. At least not later in life. Earlier in life, sometimes I did feel that, but most of the time it wasn't too bad. I had a lot of time alone when I was young and stuff, so it made it more difficult. But that's how you learn. The sooner you get into that stuff, the easier it is to get over it. so apparently that's the way you have to do it. I must have been knowing from the time I got here that I didn't know enough, so I had to learn everything the hard way.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of it has.
Yeah, so anyway, it's just a game we're playing, so we'll keep on going.
Right.
And as long as we don't give up, you got a shot at it. Don't give up. Don't get shot.
Right.
The navigation of transformation is I don't know. Like I was saying before, some things are going to happen pretty quick now. There's going to be some people have some pretty significant transformation taking place because the energy coming from the sun right now is so amazingly strong. It's bound to be affecting a lot of people. And I'm thinking, I think it was just yesterday, Stefan was saying this week or about a week from now, but this was on Friday, I think. He said a week from now, there's going to be a major sunspot that will likely shoot off a big CME this coming Friday. And he thinks that could affect a lot of people. But he's always pretty excited about that stuff. So you never know what's going to happen when he gets up there. I like his enthusiasm, though, and his knowledge of the stuff is amazing. So anyway, the things, the exercises. I don't know if Guy, are you doing any certain exercises?
Yeah, I'm always doing something. These days I'm doing trying to reinforce the core
Yeah.
and the stabilizer abdominals because I've got what appears to be a back pain, but my physio / chiro, she thinks it's more re-educating how to use my abdominals. The abdominals are good. It's just they're not being triggered the right way. So I got all these exercise with breathing and kind of trying to stabilize the diaphragm.
Where'd you get your exercise? Who'd you get your exercises from?
Well, I get them from my physio. And I also I signed up for a program by Frank Medrano. He's like a calisthenics superstar, and chin up, pull up. He's got a whole body weight routine. So I've been doing that at home.
Yeah, I was doing sit-ups and pull-ups and stuff when I was younger, but now I have come to the conclusion that I don't need those anymore because as you get older, the things that are important aren't the same. I'm not exactly sure how to explain that. It's like once you've done something, your interest level in it, once you've done it for a long time, your interest level in it as something to help you deteriorates, and you start thinking, well, I did it for so long and nothing happened, or not a lot, not what I wanted to happen, and it goes something like that. And then you start something new, and you have a better chance if you start something new because you don't have any of that negative stuff left over from the last one. So for me, I couldn't normally do exercise during my life because I was always working. It's like you can't do exercise while you're flying very well, but you can exercise when you get off at the helideck. Sometimes you can run up and down the stairs, stuff like that. Or you could put your own fuel in, which you do that anyways. You got 200, 300-pound hose you got to carry around sometimes to get your fuel. So there's all kinds of things you can do for it, but those you don't think of those as being really exercises, but they are sort of for someone in my position. For people who can go to a gym and stuff, they have more access to stuff, but I'm not altogether sure. I went to the gym a lot too, and when I was doing that in Bahrain, I went to the gym every day because I was living in a hotel, and a hotel had a gym, so I went every day. And it was the first time I ever lived in a hotel, but that was 5 months of that. And in the 5 months there, I gained 20 pounds on exercising, doing aerobics and lifting weights, every day. And immediately I gained weight. So I didn't like that idea, but I wasn't fat or anything. I was strong. Everybody thought, man, I thought looking really good. But I didn't want to get bigger. I just wanted to be strong. So I didn't know what I had to think about that. So everything for a person is based on inside your heart what you really, really want to have happen. And for me, I don't think I need to be a super big guy of any sort in order to be what I am. And I don't know that matters any, how big you are. But I have nothing against getting stronger, but I don't, it's not a desire to be big. It's just something that happens if you exercise. That's why even when I'm exercising, I have to watch what I eat because I'll start getting bigger again. So maybe that's what I'm supposed to do, get bigger. I don't know. I'm not really sure of these things sometimes. Just go ahead and get bigger and accept it and see where that goes. I think that part of the reason I didn't want to get bigger was because of initially when I was younger, I came here with a feeling that I was supposed to not be well known. I was supposed to not stand out. Why that was, I don't know, but I had that for my entire youngster time, all the way up into 30s and 40s. Still keep feeling that way. And in a helicopter, nobody knows you. I mean, helicopter pilots, you know, nobody knows who you are. So that was part of being not seen, not heard, not doing it. So I think it's part of something that was built in me, but I don't know what that's all about, really. I just know that I'm a more gentle person, not a fighting type person. I don't like to fight. Maybe with words a little bit, but not too much. But fighting to me always seemed wrong. You got to protect yourself when somebody tries to hurt you, but fortunately I didn't have to do that very much. There wasn't very many people trying to hurt me, except in the orphanage, but they were easy to knock away, so it's okay. But you have to deal with the things you deal with, and you just be what you are. And that's part of everything we're doing now. It's trying to be what we are and make what we are better, because it's more secure in its understanding of yourself, being who you are. I'm trying to do that myself, as each of you are. And the closer you get to knowing yourself, the closer you're getting to being completely yourself, just being it as a whole in the energy of all life everywhere. That's what we're trying to do. I think being like this essence that Christopher is talking about, that we are, that is a form of Zenness within the human, where they know everything they need to know about who they are, and they're all there. So they no longer need a body. but they'll still be in one until they choose to leave. That's the sort of thing that's going on, I think, now. I heard a phone go off somewhere. Not mine. It's okay. Anyway. Okay, there's the different things I wanted you to see were if you go on YouTube and look for different topics, there's 3 or 4 different I don't know what you call them. They have a title for their page. One of them is parasympathetic, which is pretty obvious what that's about. Another one is senior book, and the other one is Codex of Reality. So if you write those down, you will have access to, when you type those words individual, parasympathetic, Codex of Reality, and senior book, each one of those has loads of things in them that are beneficial for evaluating. Each person has to evaluate what they do and don't know to see how it may or may not jog something in you. You know, a lot of times I'll look at something that I wasn't planning on looking at, and I say, oh, glad to see that. I didn't even know there was something there that I could find interesting. But it turns out there's quite a few things that are interesting that are still on the internet. So most of my life I've never thought the internet had that much that I wanted, but now it seems to be more benevolent. But you do have to be careful in your searches. So, Codex of Reality and senior book and parasympathetic. And the other one, the one that I wanted to make sure you knew what that one was, that one is Spiritual Portal. And the name of the video is The Only Technique to Raise Your Vibration That You Only Have to Do Once.
Okay.
Yeah, the only technique to raise your vibration that you only have to do once. Well, actually it says to raise your vibration that never drops again. Do it just once. Well, same sort of thing.
Yeah, I found it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's one that's come from her work, Dolores Cannon's work. And she has another one too that I thought would be good. It's the last one she made. Her final subject matter, I guess. I don't know what you call it. I'm not sure where that one is exactly. It's probably a different I don't know, different name for the place that's got it on it, so I don't know which name. I just have to look up Dolores Cannon's last work. I probably find it, something like that. But I don't see it on Spiritual Portal.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe here.
Okay.
Oh, here, I found it now. It's on what Dolores Cannon discovered in her last regression. Changed everything. Nothing. These things are not meant to be, that I'm telling you about these, not meant to be definitely for you. It's just a matter of you want to see if it relates to you in some way. Because nothing is definitely for anybody. But sometimes it jogs something in you that helps you be more aware of something within yourself, and that's one of the best things that can happen to you. So we keep on doing those things enough, we're all going to know who we are pretty soon.
Yeah, I've been enjoying the YouTube as well. I've been enjoying the YouTube as well with all kinds of information, and actually
one that in the senior book is called a Surgeon Reveals 5 Exercises that those 5 exercises, the last one is that he teaches, number 5 is the best one, unless he counts them down the other way, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm not sure which way he went. Anyway, the last one that he shows is the one that I do every day, and that one, I've done it already past the 12 weeks. I'm up to like 16, 17 weeks with it now, and it's really affected my body. It's internally a lot. It's changed. Yeah. I'm always feeling the energy in the backside of my legs and my butt all the time now. They're getting bigger. So I'm not having any problem building muscle. For somebody my age, that's supposed to be hard, but it doesn't seem to be hard for me now. So I'm not going to complain about that. I'll see what happens next. Just have to work on other things. But there are some parasympathetic stuff that they give you a protocol to fix certain parts of your body, like your face and your neck and different stuff, your hands. They have different things for different areas. If you have an area that they teach about, it might be interesting on there too. Codex of Reality is more of mental than physical, but all the stuff on there has a lot of stuff connected to the physical. So they're all both in the same general area. All right, I don't know if you're both familiar with the vagus nerve and the significance of it, but the vagus nerve is the number one asset within your body that determines how long you're going to live. Wow. If it's doing the stuff it's supposed to do, you'll live longer, and you can treat it in a way that causes it to live longer and you to live longer, once you understand how it all works. And that's parasympathetic explains all that in a lot of different ways. And they have something called vagal reset. If you reset your vagus nerve, supposed to be a very significant thing, but it lets you go through all the processes that it talks all about, all the processes you go through for resetting it. But he says in order to really get it down exactly, you have to buy a vagal reset thing for like $10 or $15, something like that. And they'll give you the whole book and everything, tells you how to do it exactly right, so you don't have any doubts about it. That's depend on you, if you thought it was important. But the vagal nerve, that's a pretty important part of you, and I think we should all be working on stimulating it, but I don't know we need to pay that close attention to it, because it's more about our journey as a human rather than as a bunch of parts. We just want our parts to be working well, is all. And whatever it takes to get that, that's what we have to research and look at and see how it works. I have one area that's not healed yet. That's a hernia. That's had that since 2008. I could have had it fixed, but I thought I should do it myself. So stubborn about such like that. So wouldn't even have cost anything, and I could have done it, but I didn't, because I really want to know how to do it myself. And I have learned since then the kind of things you need to eat to help it, and that is making a difference. So I'll keep doing that and see what happens. So little by little. But the funny thing is that hernia I have, it doesn't get in the way of anything. I mean, it doesn't affect lifting weights, doesn't affect walking, running, anything. It has no effect on anything. It's just annoyance. Something is there. I don't know. We'll see how that all works out. Anybody have any questions on anything I might have some answers for? No more questions. The world's coming to an end. Or at least our class is.
No, but you've given us good food for thought.
A good night, and
Hold on.
hope everything works well for you.
Yes, I'm definitely going to look up all these websites.
Did I say anything?
Yes, you've given us good food for thought.
Maybe it's not working. I don't know. He's on. He's on.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Y'all still there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Test 1, 2.
Maybe I'm not hearing anything because my sound is not working. I don't know.
Linda, are you hearing me? Well.
Anybody hear it all?
Yeah.
Hello? I can hear you.
Hello, hello. Everything stopped working.
Huh.
Working. Look at my settings. It's working.
There are 3 participants in the conference. The recording has started.
I close it on. Okay, it's all working. Not seem to work in here.
Can you hear me now?
Don't see any problems. Audio. Hello. It's working. Hello? Hello. No. Hello, hello.
Hello?
I don't know what's happening. Nothing's working.
We can hear you. Joseph, can you hear us?
Oh, you can hear me? Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But I can't hear you. I don't know why. Sound is supposed to be working. I don't know what happened here. Well, I'm going to stop the recording, and we'll work it out next time. I don't know what happened.